So, because a lot of things have been happening personally with me and real life, I guess that's why there's a lot of things that have been like piquing my perspective on things. Life changes personally. Moved to a different store, moved to a different place temporarily. I'm actually moving back to Southern Virginia shortly. This is kind of my last day at this store. I'm going to a new one, so got those changes. But I was thinking about something because the area I'm in, and a lot of Northern Virginia, is very diverse, very woke. And it's mostly here's something I kind of realized. So in my business, we have to like ship out packages, right? And I noticed that a lot of the packages I shipped out, some of them were like foreign names, but even some of them were like just regular English names, right? And but a lot of them were local. Like it was a weird thing to me because I remember growing up. My parents would always go shopping, like they would go driving out. We'd be in the back of the car, or we'd go with them in the grocery store or something like that, or whatever store they went to. But we didn't get things delivered. Obviously, we didn't have all these delivery processes back then. But it was an experience, and I didn't know this at the time, but this was a way of kind of getting to know the community, getting to know your neighbors or people who were local who might have worked in the area who are also working at these places. So that was helpful because you got to know people, and that was how like discounts would work too, or how people would like, hey, I got you here. It was that's how it used to work. And what's weird now is I think my theory is a lot of people are using the like Amazon and even my own store because we ship things out through the post office, FedEx, things like that. They're using it as a reason not to go outside because they don't want to interact with people. Not even, and it's not even just like boomers not wanting to interact with all these people that they brought into our country, but it's also like these people who are not from our country are also interacting with other people who are not from their countries. I've seen Hispanics here, Indians, Afghanistanis. Uh, I've seen Hispanics. I'm not just Hispanics at all. Basically, there's a lot of different people who come into this store, and what's interesting about it is again we have to realize that it's not just like the entire world is arrayed against us. No, they don't like each other either. So they don't want a reason to go outside either. And so this is the other problem with the diversity project is you got a lot of people you brought into one under one umbrella. They're gonna fight each other. That's gonna be like the real problem, and that's why there's gonna be blood in the future. And it's not gonna be us. We're not gonna be. We'll respond to it. We'll defend ourselves. But the real problem is when we've gotten all these diverse peoples all together in one place, they're going to start fighting each other. And the danger is us getting caught in the crossfire. So, of course, we got a lot of a lot of boomers who are kind of battening down the hatches. It's kind of funny that they're doing this, is because they're the ones who are largely responsible for our state of being right now. So, what else did I want to talk about? It's I think there is going to be violence in the future. It's not going to be like civil war like people are talking about. There's going to be pockets of it. I think it's going to happen mostly in cities. Virginia's turned into a sanctuary state, but I think if there's violence here, it's going to be mostly relegated to the big cities. So Richmond, places in Northern Virginia, just places where it's more dense. There's a higher density in population, and I think that's the way it's going to go. I don't think the country is going to look the same in the next. I don't even 5 or 10 years from now. And another thing I've noticed. I don't know how related this is to it. I know that the lockdowns gave us this moment, and we're departing from it now because the lockdowns happened in 2020, and I always give like again 4 to 5 years time before we see significant changes, and then so those increments. So we're nearing 2020. Well, we're in 2026, going into 2027. So the sunk cost that a lot of people had for a lot of influencers who are popular right now, that has an expiration date. It has an expiration date, and you've got a lot of people who are growing up, a lot of people who are younger, who are a lot more naive, who are learning more about the world and are kind of figuring out, like, we've been under Trump for what, two years now, and have things improved at all? Have we gotten past this inflation? We fought this inflation. Our groceries are still expensive. Housing costs aren't going down. So the problem is we voted for the guy who was supposed to be our Christian president, who was supposed to kind of help us, give us what Biden wasn't giving us. And has much really changed at all? Like, has your life improved at all? And really, the fact is, was he ever going to in the first place? No one said, where is your money going to? What is going on in your life that, again, has your life improved? And if not, and I think the answer most likely is not, what are you going to do about it? Because there's nobody coming to save you. So that's why I'm making moves right now. What's funny is a lot of business practices I'm employing right now are kind of like survival tactics. There's a lot of choices I've made in the last 4 years where I didn't think I'd ever do these kind of business practices, but it's how you survive. It's kind of a dog eat dog world. You're getting people, like, you almost feel like you're taking advantage of people. Like I'm basically following the instructions my company is giving me, but I feel like I'm taking advantage of people sometimes. But I don't feel bad about it anymore. And I don't even know if I should have. I feel like a lot of the lessons that boomers gave us, kind of, they told us they were moral things, like things we needed to attend to, but they were contradictory to the survival skills that we should have been raised with. And we need to re-employ that. Because their entire cultural influence, they didn't give us a safety net. They basically thought the world would be like a lot of them still think the world was like and still is like where they were growing up, but they've given themselves a cushion against everything that's going on right now. Like, I was even thinking about Alex Jones here, where he's he did his whole business where he was talking about what was going on now, and he hasn't really improved anything except for his own life. And how many influencers are doing that right now, where they probably have set up a cushion for themselves against the very things that they're talking about are a danger to the country, right? And who can blame them? What are they going to do? So look after your own. Try to attend to some kind of community, because you can't do it all by yourself. But and of course, I've said this before, you need to arm yourself. You need to make sure you have some form of defense, and especially depending on where you live, because things are not going to be pretty in the future. And again, we're not going to be the ones doing the violence. It's going to be this perfect melting pot that was set up by our fathers and forefathers. It's going to be this death trap they put us in. And they expected us to die. A lot of them expected us to just die. And I think it's frustrating, a lot of them, that we're not.